All right, so sorry about that break. Entergy is letting us know to get the Valero refinery up and going. There is a issue with the transmission line to the west, that there's a splice in the line. The issue has been fixed and they're testing that. So that's just an updated communications from Entergy and letting us know what's going on. So it's important we get our refinery up. It's important we get our citizens fired up, and Entergy is working on it. They're communicating with us all the time. So, Rachel, where was I? John? Sorry about that. I was on debris. Okay, so I believe I've finished the debris, but I want to go over that again. We need 3 piles: vegetation, construction, whether it's furniture, whether it's sheetrock, whether it's fences, all of that. And then the third one would be white goods, which would be refrigeration items, right? So a freezer, a refrigerator, so forth. If you need to put that out, there will be separate crews to come pick up those separate piles. All right. All right. Say that again. Okay. Yep. We'll do that one. Sorry about that. I skipped over it. All right. So we need to talk about FEMA. All right. So we have a disaster recovery center, 2 of them, and they call them DRCs. We will set up 2 DRCs, disaster recovery centers, in St. Bernard Parish. We are trying to set up one at Val Reese Complex. We are trying to set up one at the Eastern St. Bernard Historical Courthouse / Go Chase School. We're not sure how we're going to set it up, probably in a parking lot of Go Chase School. This is a place where you can go, sit down with a FEMA representative, and request assistance. Any assistance that FEMA will provide, this is where you can go. If you cannot get online, you cannot make a phone call, or you just want to talk to someone, they will be up and running soon. We don't have a date on that, but we're figuring it's going to be at Val Reese or the historic courthouse in beautiful Eastern St. Bernard Parish. We had made a mistake on FEMA assistance phone number earlier in one of our releases. That has been corrected, right, Rachel?
Yeah.
Online, but I will give it to you here on this update. It's 1-800-621-3362. So that's 800-621-3362. All right. We also want to talk about Eastern St. Bernard Parish. They were devastated in the Delacroix, Shell Beach, Hopedale, Wyclosky, Fort Beauregard area, Florissant, Woodlake. So we got a long recovery ahead. People who are down there, I tell you, it's amazing. It's inspiring. They're out there already cleaning up, and things are looking better and better by the minute down there. I want to give Louis Pomez and his guys kudos for getting those roadways cleared so these people can get to their homes, they can get to their camps, they can get to their marinas. It's amazing what's happened. Our employees are stepping up and making this happen for the citizens of St. Bernard Parish. So please, when you see them, whether you're in a boat going down the bayou or in a car driving by, give them a wave and tell them thank you. And we don't need people popping the bird and saying, terrible things to our employees. They're out there working on your behalf. And we've had that, by the way, by people who should know a whole lot better than to do that to our employees. So our employees are going to work for the citizens. They're not going to work for individual people. And when I say that, I mean the citizens as a whole of St. Bernard Parish, not those knuckleheads out there that want to disrespect our employees. We are dewatering Delacroix, Woodlake, Florissant. The pumps have been turned on today. We already cut the levees. We've already been working on pumps, but we added some new pumps.
We've been dewatering, more coming in this afternoon.
And they're working, and we got more pumps coming in today to speed up that process. We are also negotiating, if you will, with Fema to clear all of the debris from our navigable waterways. You know, Bayou Lucha, Bayou Terrabuff, Shell Beach, Bayou, in those areas to clear, Hopedale Bayou, to clear it of debris. So that's going to be a huge relief. We know we have cars, we know we have some boats, we know we have equipment. We might have a gas tank or a few large gas tanks in the bayou. So that is something we're working on. We want the people of those areas outside of the levee system to know that we are working very hard. Like I said earlier, our guys have been out there every single day. Sewage in the parish is getting better. And when I say that is we're able to move sewage. We have more and more vacuum trucks becoming available to St. Bernard Parish. These contractors are figuring out that all of the trucks that are needed in areas that were totally devastated, they have that situation to a point where they can leave and come here because we have people coming back to St. Bernard Parish. Power's coming on. People are coming in their homes, and we have a lot of sewage to move. So when you wash your dishes, you take a bath, you use the facilities, we have people out there moving that sewage. So just know when you have a vacuum truck in the middle of your street and you have a little smell there for a little while, they're moving sewage, and it's just necessary to keep things going in St. Bernard Parish. We are also working to try to get generators at a lot of our lift station sites because this is going to be long-term to get this sewage corrected. And we're working feverishly to get that done. We are having some problems in some of our neighborhoods, and we're working as we speak to make that happen. Anything else on sewage? Okay. Sorry here, I want to make sure I talk about everything here. Curfew, spoke with the sheriff today. We are going to monitor the situation with the power. As power comes on, we will evaluate and lift the curfew. But at this time, we don't expect to lift the curfew tonight or tomorrow night, but you never know, depending on what happens with getting our citizens up with power. We're going to figure that one out. By the way, we do expect a little more and more of our citizens every day to come online. So last night there was a little bit of Chalmette, a little bit of Miro. We're expecting to have a little bit of Violet, some of Poydras, and maybe some more in Chalmette and Miro to come online tonight. Last night there were some problems with the national grid and this organization, MISO, I believe they call it MISO, decide how many kilowatts we get. So that decision wasn't made till around 2 a.m. So you can see what's happening with this transmission line and how it affects everyone. But here's what I want you to do. Go look at the grid. Go look at what's happening in the metropolitan area here and see how St. Bernard is doing, and I think you'll be happy with it. And you'll know that we're getting electricity, our fair share, in a short period of time. LDH, I want to speak, I'm going to wait and speak of that in a little bit. We are also contracting with some labor employment contractor to clean our canals out throughout St. Bernard Parish. So hopefully by today we'll have that set up, and tomorrow we can have people in our canals. We're going to start out in residential areas, and we're going to clean them from the top to the bottom and get those clear for proper drainage for maybe the next storm that comes through, because we have plenty problems with drainage with rain that clogs up our drainage system. So I want to make sure that we get those clear. We got it approved by FEMA, and those guys should be out really soon. Hurricane Ida neighborhood assessments. Online, you can find that assessment. We're asking our citizens to go online and assess any damage that you have on your property. For every single household that turns in this assessment, that's more money that we can receive from the federal government for our community. So our employees are out there in neighborhoods writing these assessments. If we can get our citizens to do it too, that's more money that we get here in St. Bernard Parish. We need to do a better job of these type of things. The census, when we did that, we might have had a 57, 58% response, and we have 40,000 people recorded in the U.S. Census. It's only done every 10 years. I know we have more than 40,000 people here in St. Bernard Parish. But so let's correct that, and let's do a good assessment so that we can get some more money down here for our recovery for Hurricane Ida. We did say that the transfer was open with IV.
Yes.
All right. Government offices, we have a target date of opening, and that is September 13th. That would be a week from Monday, I believe. Is the 13th a Monday? Y'all look real quick. All right. So that's the date that we're looking at doing that. So I want to talk about, okay. I want to talk about the sewage dump that the water and sewer department in New Orleans needed to do for their sewage operations. They dumped raw sewage, I believe, and sought approval from DEQ and EPA on August 31st, I believe.
Yes.
And they have been dumping raw sewage. They are still doing it today with their approval. And we get it. You have to put that sewage somewhere. In the city of New Orleans, there's a major problem with that. Sometimes DEQ and EPA come up with a waiver before a storm comes in, and they allow them to dump raw sewage into the Mississippi River. The problem, every single time that happens, they notify us because we have a water intake here in St. Bernard Parish. So we are discussing that with LDH, with DEQ, with EPA, with the Coast Guard, and letting them know that the citizens of St. Bernard Parish was not notified. There are steps that we have to take to ensure that the water that we're serving to the citizens of St. Bernard Parish with our state-of-the-art water system, a water plant here in St. Bernard, and we feel we should have been notified. We would have notified the citizens. We would have notified the citizens of the step that we're taking to ensure your safety, and you wouldn't have heard it on the excuse me. You wouldn't have heard it on the news. You would have heard it from your representatives here in St. Bernard Parish. So we're very upset about that. We have been talking behind the scenes, and we believe we have clarification of what should have happened that didn't. And we will have a round table discussion with state officials, local officials, and make sure that process changes and is corrected in the future. Your system here in St. Bernard Parish is clean. It was clean on August 31st. It was clean on August 30th. And it is clean and safe, and you're able to drink it. We don't have any of those problems, but still, you should have been notified. And we're making sure that that doesn't happen again, and any steps in a legal way that needs to happen from our standpoint, we will seek all of those avenues to make sure it doesn't happen again. We have a councilman who notified us while we were doing this update today, Councilman Josh Moran let us know that there are free lunches right now. This is Friday at around 12 o'clock at the Chalmette Church of Christ on Parish Road. I'm sorry, at 200 Delarond. They have free lunches there. Chalmette Church of Christ at 200 Delarond until the food runs out. So they're out there cooking. They have food and they want to serve the citizens of St. Bernard Parish. So thank you, Councilman Moran, for that. I know Council Member Alcon was delivering water to the Hannon Manor one day this week. I lose track of days, and we want to thank her for her service, along with all of our other council members who are doing the same thing. I know Councilman Calais is donating ice. Probably can't keep up with all of the donations. And I know we're out there as council members, all of them, doing those type of things. I want to make sure I got all of my list covered. And I want to end like I started. I want to thank our employees. Our employees are out there working every day on the road, in the bayous, in our canals, and your administration is fighting every second of every day to get this power on. We are educated, we are connected like no other community is in this process, and I can tell you that is our main priority. And we have an amazing staff that is working on your behalf to get that done. So, God bless the citizens of St. Bernard Parish. Keep up the good work. And we thank you, all of our first responders, all of our people who are out there working. And we're going to continue to work here in this office until we get back up and running. God bless.